Okay, so I've been in the canning mood. My younger sister's been canning like crazy, and so she's been inspiring me. Sorry, I just had a coughing fit. So I was up at about 2:30 this morning, and I made blueberry jam, homemade blueberry jam. Used frozen blueberries, organic honey, and chia seed. So this is what it looks like. That's my organic, or not organic, because that's frozen blueberries that I used. But that's just blueberry jam, and it's you can keep it in the fridge for about 2 weeks. And here I just finished canning tomatoes. So these were just raw tomatoes. Next time I shall make a tomato sauce because it might look a little better. How crazy it's been this year, eh? Things just haven't been growing very much. I mean, for those of you who've been watching my videos know that I've had what I started, something like 50 shelling peas and only one sprouted. And I grew a whole pile of tomato plants that I all started from seeds, and the seedlings all died. I had to restart all over again, and it just seems the best harvest I've gotten so far is from all the freeloader plants. You know, the plants that I didn't plant, the ones that just popped up, probably came from the compost, and they're all squash, all squash. And also I found that the tomato plants that weren't doing so great, you know how you snip off the, you just pick off the suckers, and then a lot of people just throw them away. I pick them off and I stick them right into the soil. And I tell you, they grow, and they grow fast, and they produce a lot of tomatoes. So, I mean, you can multiply your tomato plants easily. This here is, this is a few of the squash that I've harvested. So that's the spaghetti squash, and I'm pretty sure that is buttercup squash. And that is the straight neck squash. And that there, that's the all the garlic that I had harvested. A very small amount of tiny garlic. And this is the mother's wort herb that I'm drying. I just dry the leaves. And then, you know, pick them off, store them, and I add them into the teas that I make for my daughter, my teenager, because she suffers with anxiety issues, and so do I. We find it helps. You're not going to sleep on top of this, on the fence, are you? You're not supposed to sleep up there. Be careful, I don't want him running away. I think it's a little one. Oh, it does look kind of big. You're not going to run away if I get a bit closer, are you? You're such a cutie pie. I know you're going to destroy my garden. This is a few more of the squash that I've just harvested. A spaghetti squash and buttercup and my one pumpkin. Isn't that great? Look at that. That was a freeloader. So was the buttercup squash. Those two were freeloaders. Look at this garden bed. Isn't it beautiful? It's all kale, and this is the corn. Looks like it's going to grow. Look at that. Got one there and one there. Isn't that beautiful? There's another squash, buttercup. And there's this one. They have another squash there. And there. I'm not kidding, spaghetti squash is super easy to grow. This is a freeloader. It's turning orange, so it looks like it's a pumpkin. There's another one there. And got another one. See that? Pretty big guy, eh? Yeah, I didn't plant these guys. This is the garden bed with the compost bin. And this is the last garden bed that I have finally filled with soil and leaves. I filled it up with all kinds of stuff. A lot of paper products, cardboard, egg cartons. Sorry. I had to shut that off because a helicopter flew by. It was really loud. Anyhow. So these two big white bags, they had the gravel in them. And when we were doing our front walkway. So anyhow, I filled these bags last year. One of them was filled with all the weeds I just kept picking and throwing in here. And in this bag was all the leaves that, well, a lot of the leaves that I harvested, the fall leaves. And that was all from last year. And so I emptied both of them into this garden bed. And then we put soil on top. My husband went out and bought bags of soil. And then on top of that, I emptied this compost bin and I spread it all out. And then I just covered this part with this big sheet of cardboard. And because I don't want any weeds growing. So, and I left this little bit open because this compost bin, what happens is liquid drips from the bottom. And it's all highly nutritious, so don't waste it. Let it just go right into the garden bed. Okay, so this plant has been growing from that bin that I had in here. I had grown spinach in there in the spring, and then I just left the bin. After I harvested it, I just left this bin in this makeshift greenhouse. And all of a sudden, this plant started to grow, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm like, we have no clue what it is. It kind of looked like, I mean, if you look at the flowers, they kind of look like cucumbers, but the leaves don't really look like cucumbers. And this bin was filled with kitchen scraps that I had been putting in there all winter long, and I'm going to tell you, we actually eat an awful lot of cantaloupe, and so we were wondering if this is actually cantaloupe. And there's a fruit right there. It's really hard to tell when you have freeloaders growing. Hard to figure out just exactly what they are. Oh, and these were all the clippings that I took from my mulberry tree. And I was trying to root them and nothing happened. That was a failure, which is not uncommon for 2020. A lot of things were failures this year. I mean, really, a lot of stuff just didn't grow. A lot of stuff didn't work out. The weather was horrible and weird. Here comes another helicopter. That's another thing. We've been hearing an awful lot of shooting, which we've never heard before in this neighborhood. People are just going crazy. I don't understand. Well, I do understand. It's all this virus thing. It's taking a huge effect on people. But anyhow, you really have to get hobbies and just do stuff that makes you happy. you know, and try to do as much as you can. And if you're stuck at home doing nothing, I mean, there's no need to go to bed early. You know, I that blueberry jam I made, I mean, I couldn't sleep last night, and I thought, why the hell am I lying in bed trying to sleep when I don't have to get up and drive the kids to school, right? So got up at 2:30 this morning. I made that blueberry jam, and it's quite delicious. But well, these are my Roma tomatoes, and I've gotten quite a few off this plant. So Roma tomatoes are determinate, so I'm pretty sure I'll only get a few more and that's it, like these little guys. I don't think they'll grow very large. This is the moneymaker, indeterminate, and I've been harvesting so many tomatoes off this guy. And this is a very good example of what I was saying. You pull a sucker off these tomatoes and just stick them in the soil, and they take root. And look at this, huge. And it's all, I mean, look at that. Eh? It's even got tomatoes on there. Look at that, eh? So you can multiply your plants very easily, your tomato plants. This is a large strawberry plant, and what I was doing was, this year this guy's been giving off an awful lot of little babies, eh? So I had clipped off about 9 of them and put them in this pot with a little bit of soil. I just poked them right down into the soil, and it's been about 3 weeks now, and they have taken root. So I now have 9 more strawberry plants that I did not have to pay for. I see you. Hmm? I see you sitting there. Okay, buddy, you gotta go, okay? Go on. Bye-bye.
No, don't come to me. Bye-bye.